Back to one of my videos. My name is Nicolas. I am an email marketer for fashion brands. And today a very quick, very informative video on how to save 10% on your next Klaviyo billing. Because yes, you can save money on your next Klaviyo billing, most likely because you've done, just gone through Black Friday, you sent a bunch of emails. So I will take you through how to save that amount of money, or even more if you even have more contacts on your list. But yeah, I've done it for my clients. I will do it for clients that want to wait for it a bit. But for example, this month, I'm going to save one of my clients about $300 on its bill. It was paying about $1,000 before. So yeah, that's much more than 10%. And it can be beneficial for you if you're looking to save some costs. So obviously the video is pretty simple. It's giving you a way to save some money on your upcoming Klaviyo invoices and avoid paying for something that you don't really use. And yeah, we're going to look through that. So first of all, to understand how we can save money, we need to understand how does Klaviyo billing work. So Klaviyo bills for either the active users as the base, so how many active emails you have in your email account, in your Klaviyo account, or by volume of emails sent, right? And the problem with a month like November or even December, if you want to be pretty aggressive in emails in December as well, is that brands usually go above that limit, right? Because they might have a very regular and simple frequency of emails where you send maybe 6 or 8 newsletters a month. But during a month of Black Friday, you might send during the whole month 12, 15, 20 emails, right? So if you send it to your whole list, chances are you have indeed went over the limits of email sent on your plan. So you probably have automatically upgraded your plan. You probably have also added a lot of users in this month. So you're going to be paying much more in December than in September, for example, which is quite normal. And this is not really a big deal because, you probably have made your money back pretty easily through Klaviyo. But in the upcoming month of January, February, March, where the rhythm will be relatively slow in terms of communication compared to the last months, we want to look at how we can save money because, you won't really need that upgrade anymore, right? So why did your plan change last month? Probably changed. I think on the 7th accounts I'm managing, I think 6 changed. One didn't change because they didn't really do Black Friday, so didn't really need to send a lot of emails. But yeah, your plan might be increased because you send more campaigns or you added a lot of new users to the list because you did a lot of lead generation, you did a lot of sales, so people signed up to your email at checkout, etc. So you increase a lot of your usage on Klaviyo, basically. But there is a way to save money for next month. And when I say next month, it can be December, it can be January. It really depends on your rhythm for December. Usually it's January. How do you do that? How do you save money? So we know that Klaviyo charges you for active users only, right? They don't charge you for suppressed users. But a lot of times when I audit accounts, I realize that 10 to 20% of the whole list of active users isn't actually really active. It's just people you send email to, but they really don't react to it. They don't engage with your email. They haven't been to websites for a while now. They haven't bought anything for a while. So they are active in terms of Klaviyo, but not really in terms of business, right? So you will need to suppress these non-valuable users. And the reason I do it now is because I did some Black Friday campaigns where usually you send a lot of emails to the whole list, right? But after Black Friday, you have a better idea and understanding of who is really engaged with you and who is not. So to understand who is not engaging but is still active in my Klaviyo account, I'm going to create this segment. And it's pretty straightforward, but it has a lot of properties to it. So make sure you understand this slide pretty easily. So the first property is has placed an order 0 times in the last 180 days. So the person hasn't been a customer since April, May, right? So April, May, usually you have some launches for SS23, then you have the summer sales, then you have the launch of the FW23, then you have Black Friday. So this person hasn't bought anything despite the lot of communication and actions from your website. Has received at least 4 emails in the last 40 days. So they have been actively contacted by your newsletters, flows, etc. They haven't opened any emails in that 40-day period. So all the emails they received, at least 4, they haven't opened any. And also they've been active 0 times in the last 40 days on your website. So they haven't even been on your website on their own, right? And lastly, they can receive marketing. If they can't receive marketing, they're already flagged as suppressed, so they're not active. So you don't really need to suppress because they suppress themselves, basically. So it needs to match all these conditions, these 5 conditions, to create the segments to find how many people in your email list, in your active user count, are actually not active for you, not engaging with you, and that you can suppress pretty much without any problem. Because, if they haven't opened any email about Black Friday and they haven't been on the website in the month of November, then, you understand that it's not really useful for you to have them. If you see this video at the end of December, for example, or in January, you will obviously need to increase these time periods to cover November. So if you see it, I don't know, on the 31st of December, well, I hope you have better things to do than watching this video on the 31st of December. But if you do, you will need to, put 0 time in the last 60 days, right? And not 40 days, because it needs to cover November as a whole. So take that into account when you create the segments. So it does look like this in Klaviyo. Again, it's the same thing as the previous slide, but just for you to understand how it does look when you create the segment. So make a screenshot of this so you can replicate it in your accounts. But yeah, received an email at least 4 times in the last 30 days, open an email 0 times in the last 30 days, active on website 0 times in the last 60 days, placed an order 0 times in the last 180 days, and can receive marketing. Okay, so yeah, pretty simple. So these are users who haven't engaged with your website in November, haven't engaged with your email in November, haven't bought from you since SS23, but you're still paying for them, right? So yeah, you're basically paying for nothing on these ones. And yeah, what's next? So export the segments in a CSV file, okay? So you create a segment, you export it in CSV, upload this CSV file in the suppressed profiles, and now you can check, well, you already have the accounts of users with the segment, but once you upload them to the suppressed profile, you will now see how many active users you do actually have now compared to before. And now you can downgrade your plan to match that volume. Okay. And yeah, just save money on your next billing cycle. Now, some people like to send them a last email. So you might want to send like a last email to these people who haven't been engaged and you're ready to suppress. Just saying like, hey, I've seen that you haven't really opened my emails. You haven't been on my website. Just for let you know that we will be, suppressing you for future communication. If you want me to suppress you, then please click on this link. By clicking on the link, the I mean, by opening the email and click on the link, they are engaged with the list, so they're not really unengaged. But the problem with this is people who haven't really been opening these emails in the last 60 days won't really open that email. So the open rate on this email will be very poor, and it can kind of downgrade your deliverability. So I don't really recommend it. If your segment is well built, and as we talked about, you don't really need to send them an email. You can just suppress them by yourself. And yeah, you just save money on your next billing cycle. And hopefully that's 10%, that's more than 10%. Who knows, maybe your list is half full of people who haven't really been engaging and you don't really know about it. But yeah, that's how I saved 300 euros for a client for this month in their Klaviyo invoice. So hope you find the video useful. Hope that you will create the segments. Hope that you will find a good amount of people that you're paying for that really aren't really getting you any business, any sales. And if you do that, please give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'm posting every week videos on tips on how to grow your fashion brands for email marketing and e-commerce tips. Comment and ask questions about the segment, about any technicalities you might find. And yeah, if you want to work with me and 7-1 for SS24 on your email marketing, schedule a call with me on my website, 721.co. And yeah, hopefully we'll talk soon. Take care. If it's close to Christmas, enjoy Christmas. Have a happy new year. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.